Hey folks, Poce here, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video, and today we're going to talk a bit about the potential 5-star reruns banners that we could see in 2.7. So before we get into this, if you guys are new to the channel, all that stuff, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload Genshin videos every day, and yeah, Genshin, fun game. So yeah, let's talk about this. So obviously with 2.7 looming, and I say looming because 2.7 has been like kind of weird so far. We haven't really gotten any real info on what's going on in terms of the 2.7 live stream, the release date of 2.7, because it's all behind the ominous background of, well, what's going on with the pandemic situation in Shanghai, right? And that's obviously a real concern, but on the other hand, we really don't have any concrete, you know, they haven't came out and said anything about it yet, so it could all just be speculation. The real like slight worry people had was a bit with the spice event, with the Sumeru spice event, but people also say, oh, it's probably because of the teapot maintenance. So we really don't have anything concrete in terms of is 2.7 getting delayed or not. So we'll have to see. We'll just wait and see, and what's gonna happen. Obviously, we hope everything's, you know, going well on that side. Although personally, if it delays a bit, you know, I could save a bit more gems. But, you know, obviously we hope everyone's safe, right? So let's talk a bit about these banners. So I'm just gonna do it in a way where, like, I'm gonna rank the characters in terms of how likely I feel like they are going to rerun in terms of the next banner, right? So let's first talk about some like characters I don't think really have a shot, right? I really don't think they're coming back in the next banner, and those are the easy ones. It's gonna be Ayato, it's gonna be Ayaka and Venti, because we literally just have them. The banners are, you know, Ayaka's banner is still up right now. Ayato and Venti's banners literally just left, so the chances of them happening, I think, are very slim. I also do think Yelan, Raiden Shogun, and Kokomi, chance of them happening also not very high because of the fact that we kind of just had them too, right? With the last update, right? This update it was Ayaka, Venti, Ayato, and then before that was Kokomi, Raiden, and Yelan. So the chance of them happening again, I'd say very slim, right? Now let's move on to the easiest one, which is the one I think has a 99.9. Okay, yeah, you can never say guaranteed. Obviously, nothing is ever guaranteed until it actually comes out in the game, right? 100%. But I'm very confident in this one, and this is gonna be Yelan. Like, let's be real, she's most likely going to be the next, you know, big new character in 2.7, and it's gonna be the Yelan update, and deservedly so, right? So very likely we're gonna get Yelan. Moving on to the category I'd call the child rerun scenario, because if you guys do remember, child's reruns have been relatively close to each other, right? If you look at the latest child banner, it was 2.2, right? In between, we had only 2.1, 2.0, 1.6, 1.5. So only 4 updates separate child's second rerun and his third rerun. If you look at his first debut and the first rerun, right? It's separated by 1.3, 1.2, and boom, only 2 updates separate the first child debut and the first child rerun. So there are certain characters that I do think could potentially have that very low possibility. Look, they've done it once with child, they could do it once again. So beware, I would say, of the child rerun scenarios. And those I think could potentially be characters such as Zhongli Ganyu over here. Again, I'm not saying it's very likely. I'm just saying they maybe pull out a scenario where they do this, which you know, then we can't really. It's hard to take into account if they ever pull something like that, right? Because you know, these would only be 2 updates before, right? Zhongli Ganyu also Xiao, right? That's another one, and I think we could also account for maybe another rerun for Eula or Albedo, right? Eula, Albedo, also a possibility in that category where they throw a bit of a curveball at us and rerun recently reran characters. Recently reran characters. That's a weird sentence to say, but you know. Now let's talk about another possibility. If you guys do remember, Kuting actually had a banner of her own, right? where she was the featured character back in 1.3. It was mostly because of the fact that back then it was around Chinese New Year's, and like they were supposed to drop Hu Tao. The plan was to drop Hu Tao, but it's like, all right, man, dropping a character that's all about like death and funerals on like Chinese New Year seems kind of it's awkward, right? Superstitious people obviously don't like that, so they did something like that. It's a filler banner. In case of a delay, which again, we don't really know if there's any concrete evidence for a delay, but in case of a delay, I guess there's also a chance that they could throw in, you know, one of these banners in there as well. Maybe not Qiqi because she's a zombie, and you know the obviously the implications of the pandemic, they're probably not very good. But you know, maybe they could do in like a Mona banner or Diluc banner or Jean banner. I feel like, right? I'm just sorting these in order of like which ones I think would be more likely, and possibly Kuting again, right? But again, I don't feel like these aren't ordered, by the way. It's just these. I think if they were to do one, I think it would be Mona, because Mona's probably one of the most useful ones out of these 5. It's Mona and Jean, right? It's Mona and Jean, and they would be more high demand, right? And last time they did Kuting. Kuting's obviously one of the more popular characters in the game, so that one made sense. So if they want to do something, it probably would be with either Mona or Jean, right? Alright, now let's talk about some unlikely ones. So the first one that I do think is slightly unlikely would be Child. Not that his last banner actually has been like a while, right? It has been a while. It was right after Kokomi and Raiden, right? And we've obviously have gotten the Kokomi and Raiden rerun. But on the other hand, he's already had 2 reruns, so I don't think, like, you know, the possibility of getting a Child rerun banner at the moment is incredibly likely, right? So there's that for Child. The other one I feel like who isn't super likely is Shenhe, just because it is relatively, you know, early, and she just had her, I guess, banner. Unless they want to do something like, okay, I'm gonna drop Shenhe here again, reruns, and, you know, something similar to like the Child rerun, because again, there's only been 2 updates between them, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna announce this so people pull on Ayaka, so they spend their gems on Ayaka and then Shenhe, because obviously Shenhe Ayaka, very, very good team. But yeah, I'd say it's generally slightly unlikely. Also, if we do want to talk about another, I guess more unlikely banner, I think it would be another Hu Tao rerun, because she's had a rerun, right? She's had her first rerun already, so she is in timeline to be due for another rerun, right? Because again, we've gotten a Raiden banner, we've gotten a Kokomi banner, and she's in the same update with Child, but I just feel like probably not as likely. Maybe the update after, right? I do feel like it's you know, there's much better chance. And look, we have to look at like how, in terms of the way that the banners have been structured, right? How many reruns we get per patch. It's been complicated. We've gotten, you know, 1 reruns per patch. We've gotten 2 reruns per patch. We've gotten 3 reruns per patch, right? If you look at, for example, the Shenhe update, we've gotten 3 reruns, right? In that case, it was a Shenhe alongside Xiao, Zhongli, and Ganyu, right? So it's possible if we do get, you know, a lot more reruns, some of these might become a bit more likely. And look, when we're going into the more possible ones, right? Even though some characters might be a bit too early for a rerun, they do that sometimes, because they're not, Genshin never, you know, goes in terms of a strict order of this character has not come back in X amount of days, much more longer than this other character. That's why we got to rerun this one and not the other one, right? They don't have a strict, sometimes they jump a bit, and I think if they are going to, you know, jump an early one, I think it could potentially be Ito, right? I think if they were gonna rerun someone early, I think Ito could be a possibility, right? Just because of the fact that, like, we've been getting a lot of Ito content recently. Well, I won't say a lot, but some Ito content with the you know, appearance in the festivals and all that stuff, and he just seems like a more likely target. Also, if you look at new character debut banners, right? Last ones have been Kokomi and Raiden, and the one right after that is Ito, because we got, what, 4 reruns in a row, right? With Albedo, Eula, Hu Tao, and Child. So if they were going to jump the gun and do one, I think it could be Ito, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So in terms of the ones I feel like are very, very much likely, I think Kazuha is very likely, because it's been a very, very long time. We reran Ayaka, we reran Raiden, we reran Kokomi, right? And we haven't rerun Kazuha yet, which first debuted in 1.6. First debuted in 1.6, right? And that's been a very, very long time. Razor came back. Razor came back before Kazuha came back. And we all know how unseen the Razor has been. So I think Kazuha is very, very much due for a rerun. I think he's definitely on the top in terms of who is due for a rerun. It's this guy. It's this guy. I feel like he's definitely due for a rerun. Yoimiya is the other one. Also because, you know, she came in with Ayaka. Ayaka already reran, so maybe Yoimiya should probably be getting her rerun soon. And because of the fact that recently we've been getting a lot of Yoimiya buffs, whether it's the new artifact set, or at least they've been trying. I'm not saying this is, you know, as effective in terms of, I'm not talking about how effective the buff is, but she has been getting buffs, right? New artifact sets, the appearance of Yunjin, right? There's been certain stages, for example, this event, certain stages in this crystal event have been very, very beneficial to Yoimiya, probably would make people want to pull for Yoimiya a bit more, right? And I think she deserves it. She has definitely gotten much, much better since her debut. So I do feel like there's a solid chance that Yoimiya comes out here. So last one, Klee. Klee's an interesting one because of the fact that Klee over here is also, you know, in the same boat as Kazuha. Her last rerun was in 1.6. It's just that I'm not sure, right? Because if they do a, you know, next patch something like, all right, it's gonna be Yelan, Kazuha, and Yoimiya, right? If that's 3 characters, if you're adding a 4th character, it would be slightly weird to have 2 Pyro main DPSs to rerun in one patch. So I'd say most likely it's going to be something like Yelan, Kazuha, and then one of either Yoimiya or Klee, right? One of either Yoimiya or Klee. I think the chance of it being Yoimiya is a bit higher than it being Klee, but who knows, right? We've also been getting, obviously, well, we've been getting a lot of love for both Yoimiya and Klee recently in the Iridori festival, right? So we'll see. The more I look at it, the more I want to move Hu Tao up into, like, maybe possible. But then again, it's just that that's a 3rd Pyro main DPS, right? That's a 3rd Pyro main DPS, and there's already struggling in terms of which Pyro main DPS they are going to rerun between Klee and Yoimiya, which I do think both have a much, much better argument in terms of getting a rerun in comparison to Hu Tao, right? So, maybe not. Yeah, I'll keep her in unlikely, I guess. So, yeah, that's me this one, I guess. Hope you all enjoy. It's just my personal opinion in terms of which units are potentially, you know, could be getting a rerun soon in 2.7. Looking at this, I would prefer that delay because my gems are not ready. My gems are not ready because I really, really want Yoimiya. I actually find her playstyle kind of interesting now with a lot more help, right? You can also run her in like a dual DPS comp with like Idol, which is pretty fun. I'm not saying it's very, very good, but it sounds fun, right? Kazuha's obviously amazing. Yelan's the best, right? I cannot wait. Yelan, oh my god, I love her so much already, and okay, I'm not a huge fan of Klee's playstyle. Although I like Klee a lot, though. A very, very adorable character. So, yeah, anyways, that's me. This one. Hope you all enjoyed. The guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think is going to be rerun up next. And, yeah, have fun, folks. Good luck on your polls if you guys are polling for anything. And I'll see you guys in the next one, then.